Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the 3X Value Growth Podcast. My name is Carrie Sauls. I'm a value growth advisor to middle market companies and author of the bestseller, Multiply Your Business Value in 3 Steps. I'm coming to you today, as always, from New Hampshire, and I'd love to start with a piece of New Hampshire trivia that people don't really know. Today, I wanted to tell you, because it's Veterans Day here, the Memorial Bell Tower at Cathedral of the Pines in Rindge, New Hampshire, has 4 bronze bas reliefs that were designed by Norman Rockwell. The bell tower is specifically dedicated to the women, military, and civilians who died serving their country. So I thought that was a great memorial for today, Veterans Day.
I did not even know that Norman Rockwell did sculpture. I know him for his paintings
art
of America and his art. Yeah, so that's actually a great fact about New Hampshire. Thank you for.
It's amazing trivia that I'm finding, and I just can't keep it to myself. I think other people should know. So welcome to today's show, Paresh Shah. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Carrie.
I'm so glad I could have you here today. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
As much as we've gotten to start to know each other, I want to give our audience a brief introduction to who you are and what you bring to the table. Paresh Shah is a tech entrepreneur, a Harvard MBA, a speaker, innovation and leadership expert, and a mindfulness yoga instructor. His abilities to cross multiple worlds makes him a sought-after trainer and advisor to executives who wish to lift performance by intentionally integrating practices that drive innovation, motivation, and engagement with proven mindfulness techniques. Shah has spoken at TedXYouth, South by Southwest, Wisdom 2.0, Yoga Expo, and WBEC, and has been featured in Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur, and CEO.com. He's the co-founder of Lifters, a leadership training company. Welcome again, Paresh.
Hello. Hi,
I'm
Carrie.
glad
Thanks
you're
for
here.
having me. Thank you for having me.
The title that you gave us for our 7-question interview was Lifters Are Your Future. So now you've intrigued us with that title.
Yeah.
So we're going to answer that question in 7 minutes, right?
You bet.
7 minutes starts now. Paresh, who is your ideal client?
Our ideal client, Carrie, is a leader who's aware that we need to lead in fundamentally new ways to thrive as individuals and as enterprises. She or he sees the importance of treating people as whole people rather than simply as employees or units of labor or production. Our clients are transformational agents who want to make a difference in people's lives by building lifter cultures. As lifters are evolved talent that uplifts their coworkers, their customers, their communities, and therefore their company on purpose. They can see how their company can prosper as they consciously practice traits like positivity, having a purpose, and really seeing the depth in the other people around them. And according to the Harvard Business Review, companies that practice conscious leadership practices, such as the lifter leadership that we train, coach, and speak about, perform 10.5 times better. 10.5 times, Carrie, who wouldn't want that?
That's a great number to really hook people in. So given that that's your audience, Paresh, what's the problem that you're trying to solve for these businesses?
The problem that we solve, actually, we're simultaneously solving 4 problems with this lifter leadership model. And sometimes it's easier to solve multiple problems than one, you understand, Carrie. So the 4 problems that we solve, the first is the need to attract and motivate talent. 7 out of 10 workers today are classified as disengaged by the Society of Human Resources Management, and that's taking a huge toll on everyone involved. The second problem we solve is the need to build customer trust and loyalty. Today, customers only trust 56% of companies to do the right thing. The third problem that we solve is the need for innovation. Did you know that 88% of CEOs are unhappy with innovation, and most are really paranoid that they're going to be disrupted to smithereens? And the fourth problem that we solve, which is very important these days, especially for younger talent, is the need to be socially responsible and to foster inclusion. So those are the 4 problems: motivating and attracting talent, building customer trust and loyalty, being innovators, and really being socially responsible and inclusive.
Very, very comprehensive there. So the question I have for you now is, what are the typical symptoms of these problems that you see owners experiencing or that they talk about the most?
That they talk about the most? It's a good question. Well, the first symptom is any complaint about your workers. Whether they are complaints about their being engaged, being productive, aligned, or motivated, especially if a leader feels this about a particular segment, whether it be younger workers, older workers, or particular aspects of their workforce. It's likely that they're not leading them in a way that gets them really committed and aligned, where they can show up with the fullness of who they are. So the first one is, if we're complaining about our workers, something's up. It's a symptom. The second symptom is poor innovation and problem solving, whether it be for customer products, services, and experiences, or for internal innovations to make our operations more successful. That's the second problem and symptom. And the third symptom is growth is not living up to its possibility. I'm not a big believer in these single-digit growth projections, Carrie. I believe that any one of these, whether it's worker motivation, innovation, customer loyalty, or being socially responsible, any one of those problems, if addressed, can lead to at least single-digit growth. When you attack all four, you can actually get substantially higher growth. So those are the symptoms, which is complaining about your workers, not innovating, and having meager growth rates.
Well, you're singing my tune, because I'm all about growth and that it can be far more than they're actually achieving right now.
Absolutely.
So building on that, my fifth question is to turn it around and say, what's one valuable free action that our audience members could be taking right now to, in fact, increase the value of their business?
Sure. What we do is we say that the power of positivity, mindfulness, and being conscious of your words, first of all, is unquestioned in terms of human happiness, workplace well-being, and business performance. So really being conscious and around our words and the positivity that we put forth in our work environment. So the one free action that we recommend to our clients is very simple. It's replace the 4 C's that we see in our organizations to the 4 P's. So here are the 4 C's that we're not going to do anymore, which are to compare, compete, complain, or criticize others or ourselves. So that's those C's we're going to get rid of, and we're going to replace them with the 4 P's. And the 4 P's are, when we speak, we want to speak with positivity, purpose, playfulness, or peacefully. Replace the C's with the P's and watch what happens, because our words, our actions, and our thoughts create our environment. They create our reality within our workplace and within our world. And replacing the C's with the P's will make an immediate difference, I assure you.
That's a huge culture shift for some companies, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I just dropped something. Absolutely. And frankly, Carrie, one of the things that we find is if we eliminate sarcasm, just simply sarcasm, that can make a big difference. A lot of people will sarcastically put others down or go, oh, well, with my luck, this will happen. If we just squelch sarcasm and cynicism, it will actually fundamentally shift how people interact, because sarcasm is actually a way of shutting people down.
Powerful lesson there. Really great. My sixth question for you, Paresh, is what's one valuable free resource that you can direct people to that's further going to help them with this problem?
Oh, sure. Well, we invite anyone who feels like they are a lifter or feels that they'd like to learn more about lifter leadership to come to our website, which is simple. It's www.iamalifter.com. iamalifter.com. And there are a variety of resources there for you that are free and may be helpful. First of all, there's a TEDx talk in which we review the mind shifts that lifters make. We have 4 mind shifts that lifters make that are the mind shifts we need to make to adjust to this new world and break out of our old ways of leading, which tend to be very command and control driven, to a more purposeful, positive, collaborative way of being. So there's a TEDx talk at iamalifter.com. And there's some keynotes there that we provided to CEOs of major companies. We also have a white paper that you'll be able to download, which gives you a little more information. And if you sign up, we'll give you some free excerpts of our forthcoming book, Lifters, which are everyday, ordinary people who uplift their coworkers, their customers, their community, and their company on purpose. And if you'd like to have a consultation to see if a workshop or some executive coaching or a keynote would be appropriate, you can contact us there. So there you go.
Quite a lot there. Thank you. From with everything that you've already given me for answers, let me turn it around and ask you, what question haven't I asked you? What's the question, and what would be the answer that would help our audience?
The question is, Paresh, what are the 4 mind shifts to be a lifter?
Okay.
Want to ask
And
me?
the answer?
The 4 mind shifts to be a lifter. The first one, mind shift 1, is serve up. Serve up. And what we do is serve up. We generate an awareness that there's a massive shift happening in the world right now. A shift from the outmoded hunting, controlling, competing, and transacting way of business evolved to being positive, optimistic, and in service to others, where we attract customers and talent rather than transact or hunt for them. So that's the first mind shift, is serve up. The second mind shift is listen up. And this is about attuning to our body awareness and our intuition as a complement to our thinking brains. And it generates high caliber listening, mindfulness, empathy, productive dialogue, and the ability to powerfully express and connect with others in order to sell or motivate. So the first one, serve up. The second one is listen up. The third one is show up. And what the third mind shift does is it helps lifters dive deep and recognize the breadth and depth of their own talents and that of their workforce. Adopting show up helps you activate the diversity that's right there in front of you, because with diversity, you get innovation and energy to catapult to new solutions. So we've got serve up, listen up, show up, and the fourth lifter mind shift is act up. Act up. It's about taking action. And it teaches us, how do we clearly define victory, set collective intentions, remove constraints, and create what we call inspired velocity, so we can get that sort of growth that you, Carrie, you and I talked about, in a way that everyone thrives, the individuals, our companies, and our society at large. So those are our 4 mind shifts: serve up, listen up, show up, and act up.
Thank you very much, Paresh Shah. What a wealth of information today on 3X Value Growth Podcast.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. I really appreciate you and your audience, and keep lifting.
Absolutely. Thanks for checking out the 3X Value Growth Podcast. If you like what we're doing here, head over to iTunes and subscribe, leave us a review, or rate us. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to learn more about the 3X Value Growth model, go to www.3xvaluegrowth.com/model for the PDF.